Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Thank you Flip for redeeming first, and thank you Mizuki for redeeming Boop. They are still very loud to me, but I'm sure it sounds perfectly fine for you guys, even though, and I think you probably couldn't even heard it because I think I forgot to unmute that one. So, that sucks. Here, I'll just do it again. What was it? It was a Boop. Oh yeah, I have to wait. Like forever to redo it. Oh well. That's fine. Let's see. What happened last stream? We got through the first part of the trial. Let's see. We're able to. How do I explain it? So, Windy did not help us at all, but we're able to extend the time for the trial on that day. We're almost allowed to do it on another day, but then we realize, oh wait, Maya's in trouble. If we expand it for another day, she might die or something because she's kidnapped. So we were able to extend it for just the day that we're already on because of Edgeworth, of course. Of course, he helps us somehow. He always manages to help us without like helping us directly, I guess. But yeah. So we're able to extend the time on that day, and he already had the person that they wanted to testify or whatever, like already in the prosecution area. So yeah, he already was prepared and already thought ahead in the case, and that's why he seems so relaxed like the whole time. Besides when Wendy was being all weird with him, then he wasn't very relaxed at all. But otherwise he was. So now we need to continue the second part of the trial and hope that we get our defendant not accused of murder. So yeah. Here, I need to do this. Okay. Now let me turn this off so then I don't get a headache. There we go. And now let me do this. Perfect. We are part 2 on part 2 of 2. Part 2 1? What does this even mean? Part 1 2. You know, I'm on this, whatever this means. I'm on this part of it. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Have I been saying hakama? Hakama? You know, I don't remember it. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But why? I thought she was like buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Get me a verdict that's refreshing, like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. Oh, I love to start the stream out with this. Amazing start to the stream. Love it. It sounds like she left a suicide note, but the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. That's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. But don't let your guard down yet. Oof. That sucks. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Dang, that's not... That means it's not even like... What? That's not right. Because Edgeworth tricked us. He's even worse than before he tricked us. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. Right. What is your occupation? I don't remember what voice I gave her. There's so many characters. I forget like their voices now. Like what did I voice this character as? Just a high-pitched voice, I guess. I am the manager of defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ingarde. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? I am sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. And would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. Oh, no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. What the hell? But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I think there is someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Okay. There is something in my eye. Please not be in my eye anymore. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Okay, who in shock would pour themselves a glass of juice? What the heck? That is so random. Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made. What the fuck? Why can I not remember? Why do I not remember? I've forgot all of their voices besides my own. It's very concerning. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. How the fuck did I voice? Just wait a few seconds, you guys. Just wait. I need to go back on my own Twitch VODs. I don't remember how I voice him. I don't remember. Whoops. Just wait a few seconds. Just wait. Okay. um let me just try again, I guess. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? I guess so. Let's just press on everything. And what was Mr. Angarde doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Angarde did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could have not been taken out of his room, right? Excuse me? It? What are you? Objection, right. I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Angarde's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Oh, so mean. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. Patrick just roasted poor Phoenix. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had more personal matter to discuss with the victim? Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at the time. I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got into his room? You were in shock. What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corrida. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. Who does that? Like, tell me, you walking on a dead body. The first thing I'm gonna do is find the whatever drink they were drinking before, open it, and pour myself a drink. Why? Why? Bro. I would be trying to call like the police or something. Like, what the heck? Like, bro, what the heck? drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Why? Just why? What? This does not make any sense to me. Like, that whole thing does not make any sense. Like, who would pour themselves a drink because they don't feel good to not drink the drink because they don't feel good? That doesn't make any sense. Why? Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corrida, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake, that one thing. What one thing? Never mind, it's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Press further. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that you said you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. Oh god. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. The flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why would you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. Why would you pour yourself a drink before taking the dead person's pulse? I guess if you were in shock, I don't know, but really in shock, would you really pour yourself a drink because of how scared you are? I don't know. Something about this does not make sense. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offense and not let up. The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to. For Maya's sake. Okay. I need to think. I want to check what this looks like really quick. So she claims that she knocked over that vase because she put down her drink and tried to take his pulse. Okay. Wait. I present the... She lied. No. Didn't mean to do that. I think I'm supposed to present the picture because earlier she said that she found the scene just the way that it was, but now she's saying that she poured herself a drink and knocked over a vase, meaning that picture a guitar case. That's what I thought. Objection! You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell into the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gone wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. What is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards would be inside, not outside of the case. Objection! What is your point, Wright? That case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all? Objection! No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. No. Yes, that's right. She didn't implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. Objection. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on the case at all. That may very well be, however, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Make her testify! The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along, for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. We expand this trial for as long as we can. Maya's life is on the line. We have nothing to lose. Well, we have everything. No, we have everything to lose, actually. That's what I meant. Total opposite of what I just said. Everything to lose. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. Oh no. Did I make a wrong choice? Oops. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using it anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. Damn, Edgeworth, what did I do to you? You're the one who left for a freaking year. Okay. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see... Are you sure that you are the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. It sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Well, Miss Andrews? Yes, it was me. So, you opened the guitar case then? I didn't mean to do that. Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Corrida's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. Phoenix, what about her pouring herself a drink before that? And then knocking over a vase? And then opening a guitar case before she even called the police? Is that not concerning? Only her opening the guitar case. That's the only thing that's concerning. Objection. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? But getting back on topic, yeah, why does she care more about the guitar than the dead body in front of her? That's a little concerning. Like, isn't that a little concerning? Like, just a little weird. Was it really empty? Huh? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. Objection! How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention. Oh my god! Edgeworth! So mean. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way I make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to let up on her now. I wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with. I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found. Okay. What do I have? What do I have? Present the guitar case, I think, because it only has the guy's fingerprints on it, and it'd be kind of weird to not find her fingerprints on it as she opened it. Some water only on the top of the lid. I just don't know if this is the right statement. So, not a big deal though. I don't know what statement I should present it on. Probably the second one, I think. Empty. There's some water. But only on the top of the lid. Oh, at all? Okay, at any of them? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I'm going to present it the right one. Objection! There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Oh, I hate my dear as a phrase. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Huh? What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? You were not wearing gloves because you left prints on the freaking glass. You idiot. Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the awards ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. Well, sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. Yeah, I know, the wine glass literally has her prints on it. So she wasn't wearing gloves. So she didn't open the case. I see. Well, Mr. Wright assumes the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange. You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? I don't know. The wine glass with your freaking fingerprints on it? I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Ugh. She broke her glasses, bro. And she just had another pair. Bro. Order, order, order. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. Huh? What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. what was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, no, that's not right either. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact that on the case... Objection! Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's unusual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... Objection! No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean to suggest that the bright black guitar... Objection! So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, Wright? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? The costume? No. That'd be weird to have your enemy's costume on the knife. No. What the? That wouldn't make any sense. Oh, really? Wait. What does the nickel samurai look like? That is what the nickel samurai looks like. Huh. This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important is what is in the picture, Your Honor. In this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... Inside the guitar case was the nickel samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot correct. You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. It's a horrible strategy, but it gets me by. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Objection! Wait 1 second, Your Honor. the Nickel Samurai costume would have been Mr. Matt Ingarde's. Why would something of the defendant be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places?
True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
Spare costume? I mean, I don't know what else it would be because he was already wearing his costume. Mr. Ingarde did not take his costume off during this break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one.
What? Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean the victim himself had brought the spare costume to the ceremony on purpose.
But why? The victim, Mr. Korida, was the jamming ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? What would be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
As I almost fall in my chair. And therein lies the sticking point. Objection! What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself.
No, I definitely wasn't doing that, Edred. Definitely not.
I definitely was. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gutso. I believe in you. Alright. This is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai's spare costume to the hotel was... Is it the conference ticket? I feel like this has not come in handy, like, at all. Okay.
What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up right. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Ingarde himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing?
I like how in every case, everyone, like, since the victim died or whatever, everyone's like, why would they ever do this horrible thing? Why would they ever do this horrible Bro, just because they're dead doesn't mean they can't do something, like, wrong. Like, that's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess outrager, he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt and Garde.
Yeah, I guess that is what it would mean.
But what if that's the case? That's not a confession, that's a public disclosure. I burped in the middle of that sentence. That was really bad.
Miss Edgers?
I can see why you're a pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the jamming ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyways.
He was going to ruin him? Huh.
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What?
And do you know what the secret of Mr. Engardes is, Miss Andrews? Oh, yeah, in the middle sentence.
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
You're definitely lying to us. I'd probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt after all. Protect Mr. Engarde?
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Oh my god, I keep yawning. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor. But sometimes? Mizuki, sometimes? Whoa, that's giving him way too much credit. All of the time. Gullible all of the time.
Yes, Your Honor, wait.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Wrong voice. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course.
Oh my god, I keep yawning.
The button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type that also has no evidence to prove this. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight onto this and turn her logic upside down. Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. Irk. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things are these things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach that to us in school. At least not from what I remember. May I continue now? So would you say this need came from the press conference? Yes, do you know why Juan chose the event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt and Garde.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Mr. Angarde himself didn't know anything about the press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree, Miss Andrews. Please correct your testimony, if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? Has Mr. Angarde done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You're the one who helped Mr. Corrida with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Angarde, yet you still helped out. Objection! The person on the trial right now is Mr. Angarde Wright. What the witness was thinking helping the victim was with his plan is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? But you just said you didn't... There's no proof that you have a motive, and there's no proof that he has a motive right now. So... confusing. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. Angarde was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. Angarde? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however.
The judge is glaring straight at Mia. He's glaring at you, smart guy. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. Fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the jamming ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the plates of Matt's Hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Everyone hates me right now. Everyone hates me. Ugh.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, Please add this information to your testimony.
I don't know what to do. I feel like I've already pressed on like mostly everything. And I don't want to get more glares. I don't know, I guess I'll press on the last one. But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time. Objection! Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. Ngarde at any time. Okay. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Corrida planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Ngarde as much damage as she possibly could. And this witness bears ill will towards the defendant. Objection! This isn't the Phoenix Wright wax philosophical power hour. And please stop slandering the witness. As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. Really? Because to me it sounded a little wishy-washy. Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I press a little more. You should know this by now. But you'll need strong, decisive evidence to make her talk. Got it, Chief. I'm gonna pin you down this time, Miss Andrews. Okay. What does his autopsy report? Objection! This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body.
Order! What is the meaning of this?
Objection! What is the meaning of this right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, what does this mean? Does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
There is only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Ngarde. There's no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Engarde was set up. By the real killer, of course.
And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Engarde is... the girl on the stand? I mean, who else would it be? So... because there's literally nobody else. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You are Mr. Corrida's killer. What?
Order, 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 Mr. Wright. This is very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. How preposterous, how... You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then, what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Engarde naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Tisk. Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Engarde was the real killer, there's no way he would have to put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Ugh. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Engarde's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could have only been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No! Objection! But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. It was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched that case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of the dead body. And to top it all off, there, in this photo, a photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this nickel samurai is Mr. Engarde. He would have been much too short for his own costume if it was him. Oh. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. But then she's gonna be like, but what's my motive? Because that's what they all say.
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes. You're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? I guess that is a law. Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Ngarde's room. That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, Wright?
Are you finished already? Run out of evidence.
What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything has the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. But what? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida.
Miss Andrews, you did not want to kill Mr. Corrida.
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow we landed in the worst possible situation. Great. We're in worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
A recess?
A request that both the prosecution and defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial.
Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Hold it! Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial... Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then
but it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... Objection! It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but... Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about, Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Okay, Edgeworth is the only one that has a brain, apparently. He might be mean, but at least he noticed that, because, like, how did nobody else be like, that's kind of weird. Usually, when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want you to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know. That is true. He's been majorly hating on us and then also helping us at the same time. It's so weird. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. Okay. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, I thought he was just dead. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something. So I went to pour him some juice. I just realized something. Do these rooms just not have keys or like something like that? Because, you know, usually hotel rooms have keys. So it'd be kind of weird if she kind of just let herself in without a key. I guess it doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. That is true. That is very true. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why did you say so in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what the hell's going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. Didn't really pour it for myself. Surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in a messy state. So, it was a mess.
Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Corida? Objection! I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. Grr. And then, what did you see next, witness? Slumped over? Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping. Oh yeah, with a knife in his chest and blood on his chest. Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd? Do I present the picture of the guy? Because how do you walk in and be like, oh yeah, he's just sleeping, you know? He's just sleeping. That's how everyone sleeps right there. Right there, you know, with a knife in the chest, blood. Bro. Oh shoot. Is that the wrong test? That's the wrong one, isn't it? It's the wrong one. I saw him sitting. I thought... Here, let me just press on this really quick. Then what did cross your mind? I thought maybe he had just smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. Then I felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. Anyways, that's what I thought.
I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all?
I think this is the right one. Wait. So you said 1, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I did present it too early. That was the wrong statement. Damn. Damn. I lost points. It's okay, though. I knew what I was doing. Just wrong test. Wrong sentence. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body. Ah!
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Korida's chest. Anyone who saw the scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man. Well, you see... I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer. No!
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt Gangarde, is not guilty after all.
That's impossible, you're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He was the one who killed Juan. But you're the one who refused to testify. And you're the reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Mangarde's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? But we haven't even proved her motive yet. This can't be right. What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Mangarde.
Objection!
Your Honor,
The prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
what?
The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute, real truth.
The absolute real truth. What are you?
Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Madame Garde will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you.
What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Franziska von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Then right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, Madame Garde will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them. Then, what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we had to do now is get her not guilty. That is my only priority. It wasn't me, I'm begging you. Please believe me, I didn't kill Juan. Help, please, someone, help me.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
The court can't continue on like this, therefore I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who it is, the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Is it that obvious? There's someone else it could be except the woman crying over there, right? Come on now. What will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? When asked about your intentions, you can force Andrews to testify or request not guilty verdict. It doesn't matter what you choose. After some encouragements from Edgeworth, Andrews finally agrees to tell the truth. Encouragements in quotation marks? I love that. I'm going to force her to testify. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like you to know what you are really hiding. I would like to know what you're really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. Angarde would get an acquittal, but in this case, you would be found guilty. Is this Is this how you really want to end this trial to end? Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls onto my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop!
Mr. Edgeworth!
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
Whoa!
What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop! Please stop! No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I had the evidence right here. That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please stop! I beg you! If people find out, I'll... If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. Damn! Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. Damn! He is cold right now. So what will you tell the court, yourself or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk. Please help me. Nothing matters anymore. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished, and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. That's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Stab the body with the knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on a certain person? A certain cowardly man.
Who? What do you mean by all of this?
It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. Last time? So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt Engarde for the murder. And this is her crime. But what? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please give your shock and commence the. Please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Bro. I'm never gonna be done.
But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you didn't know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is a part of the jamming ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I would wake him up and he went to pour the juice.
What is this plan you had?
I knew right away that...
Oh, God. Thank you, Angel, for rating. Welcome to the stream. I am playing Ace Attorney for like the 5 billionth time in a row.
I think I've been playing this game for at least like I've been playing this game for months straight. I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing this game for months straight. And I don't think it's ending anytime soon. But hi, Angel. Okay. But I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silenced him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Okay. Well, that was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned it to the scene of the crime. So, you're the one to stab the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. As I keep burping in the middle of the sentence. Because I keep doing that. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button, somehow I can make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Ngarde's Hakama. Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? And an inconvenience. There was a woman with a hammer at the ready, loitering in the hallway. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. That's Miss Oldbag for you. It had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I could very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. You're the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, it took it from the Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear the costume and hold a press conference in it. I was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is this secret?
That I don't know. Anyway, I thought if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Angarde's room and planted the button.
Into Matt Takama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I stuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word. What does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Angarde? Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? She said that I should under no circumstances confess to what I have done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. But I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What does that mean? What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Objection. Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
But...
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
Today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
Huh?
Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I don't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright, I remember just now I found this in the room on that day.
The room? That day?
Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body? I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Yeah, I guess not. But it still is. But it's still a strange card, if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Hold it! Witness that card! Give it to me, hurry! Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? I'm so curious. What was that outburst at the end? Why was Edgeworth so outburst at the end? March 22nd, 5:24 p.m. Ryan Cola offices. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! There, Pearls. I can't take it anymore. Look, it'll be alright. Everything may still work out. Him? The condition was that we had to get a not guilty verdict. And so far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. And he won't because Mr. Ngarde hasn't been giving a guilty sentence yet. Cheer up, we don't have time to stand around crying. We had to get going. Yes, let's say this to an 8-year-old. You're right. Mystic Maya is much more pain than I am. Yes, that's right. So... Hey! You guys, I'm glad I got you, pal. I don't know, the kid's forehead is massive. What do you want me to say? She has a big forehead. Mr. Scruffy Detective! Oh boy. Looks like Detective Gumshoe has been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. Just a plain old Mr. Dick Gumshoe now. And I'd come to tell you, pal. We're kind of busy right now. And why are you in my office right now? Did I leave the door open? Okay, what is it? So, what are you gonna do from now on? What do you mean, pal? Well, you've been fired, right? So, do you have a new job lined up yet? Oh, that? What am I supposed to do now, pal? I don't have anything coming up in at all until my next payday. But what are you talking about? You don't have another payday. I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work here at your place, pal. Say what? Well, how do you know that he did run here? All we've ever heard Phoenix say about him is that he's running everywhere, right? So, how do we know that he didn't run here? Don't be searching for things that will prove Mr. Ngarde's innocence all day, right? Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to help you, pal. I've got lots of experience in investigating and watching over people's places. And I'm great at making real simple meals, pal. I'll take care of all of it. Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's let Mr. Scruffy Detective take care of things. Okay. By the way, what's your best dish? It's the noodles, pal. Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy foods? Says the one who is cheap and probably unhealthy. Bro. He complains about his freaking bills and stuff. What the?
That was the first time I've ever seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he would say something like that. He didn't care if Miss Andrews killed herself.
He said that? That's horrible!
But because of him doing that, we got the truth finally.
The truth? Miss Andrews' last testimony, I wonder if that was the truth. I'll give you that there was nothing strange in her testimony itself. But I still think there's something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing.
You mean about that thing, pal?
What would she want to know? I mean, almost need to frame Mr. Ungarde. I couldn't figure that out from anything she said at all today.
Then you're saying that testimony was a lie?
Not a lie per se. It just feels like there's more here than meets the eye. Oh my god, Flip. I know. Or that's what Edgeworth would like us to believe.
That's such a dirty trick. Even that woman prosecutor was better than that.
Franziska von Karma. Speaking of Von Karma, do you have any more information on her condition? Wasn't she shot this morning?
Miss Von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol, pal.
But she's going to be fine, right? I mean, Edgeworth said she was in stable condition, but...
Well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. They should be done taking the bullet out, so she's probably resting at the hospital.
Which one?
What, you gonna go visit her, pal?
No, well, I was kind of thinking about it.
Hey, you've actually got a heart, don't you? She looked like she was being tortured to death, not by being able to go to trial today. So maybe it'd be good for her if you went and let her whip you for a bit, pal.
Let's go let her whip us, Mr.
I never thought I would ever voice an 8-year-old saying the sentence. Bro. Okay. Now, I'm definitely not going.
Let's see, the name of the hospital. Oh yeah, the Hardy Clinic.
That name sends a chill down my spine. Well, I guess it can't hurt to stop by and say hi. Okay, well, we're moving to the hospital. March 22nd, Hardy Clinic reception. Please. Never thought I'd come back to this place. Please, guy, that's weird. Please don't be here.
Yes. Are you here to visit a patient?
Hi. Wait a second, you're...
Yes, I'm Director Hottie.
Why are you still here?
Yes, what is it? Can I help you? You can help me. Yes.
I fucking hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. Director Hottie. Oh, that's him. At Edgeworth.
Yes, I'm Director Hottie. Oh, you're the man from this morning. Yes. What is it?
Director Franziska. How is Franziska von Karma?
You don't need to worry. Yes. She's in good hands. Because, you see, I'm personally taking good care of her. Yes. Yes. That surgery, it went well.
You have my gratitude. It looks like Edgeworth doesn't know about this director and his secret. Oh, I fucking hate this guy. Yeah, Edgeworth doesn't know about this guy. And how much of a weirdo this guy is. Because he was gone for a year. Because he left me for a freaking year.
She looked so pitiful, absolutely terrified. Yes. But I understand. Yes. Her opponent was a gun after all. And that's when I stuck up on her, real secret-like. She would scream really loudly. Yes.
I see.
Oh, but she's really cute too. When I do that, she'd whip me with her whip. Boy, did I cry like a baby. Yes. But I think I could get used to it.
Go back to your room.
You're so mean. You're so mean. Bye, Frisky Francisco. Frisco.
Why do you have to say that? Why did I say that? Why did I repeat exactly what I read? Why? Why am I cursed like this? Why? I wish I never said that.
Ah, okay, yes. It's my time for my IV drops. Yes.
And what are those tulips doing in your hands, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Ugh, I knew I shouldn't have come here. I was shot in front of the courtroom in my right shoulder. Almost like my father was shot by Edgeworth when he was a child. I guess it runs in the family. But it's no big deal. This sort of thing happens all the time, like my father, who's now in prison. I even had full intentions of running the trial this morning.
But that would have been too much for you.
There's no need to act tough in front of us, you know. Regardless, I was dragged here by that man over there. He was so unyielding, one has to wonder if he was simply interested in stealing my case. It was the only logical course of action given to the bullet was still lodged in your shoulder. But by taking over the case, I found myself having to clean up after you and that irresponsible deal you made.
Him?
I think I know what deal he's referring to. Oh, they're having some family drama over here, you guys, and we're here to witness. Miss Von Karma, you made a deal with Miss Andrews yesterday, didn't you? I don't know what you mean. In order to make sure you got your guilty verdict on Mr. Engarde, you told Miss Andrews to not testify in court today. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have proof that I made such a deal? You're denying it? Oh my god, I keep burping. Jeez. I've been doing that all stream. You're denying it? It looks like you were lucky, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If I had been in court today, this trial would already be over. All while hiding Miss Andrews' own crime? That isn't my problem, whether she has tampered with the evidence or not. I have only one objective, to find Engarde guilty of murder. The end justifies the means, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The end justifies the means. Miss Von Karma, Adrian Andrews believed you when you said, if you don't tell the truth of what really happened, then Engarde will be found guilty. And what does that have to do with me? Because of that, she is now in danger of being found guilty herself. All because she believed in your words until the very end. But still has nothing to do with me. She's just a weak person, that's all. But you had to know she was. Ow! I think visiting hours here are about over. So if you'll excuse me. What's wrong? Why did she suddenly cut you off? Probably because she thinks she had the advantage in the argument. Edgeworth. Ugh, have to talk to this guy again. I'm still supposed to be mad at him for leaving for a year. Although, he was being mean to me in court with his words, but then he was also helping me in court. So, it's kind of weird. What happened today at the trial, Edgeworth? That was not like you at all. I mean, I know you knew about Miss Andrews' condition. You could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but to go that far? But she wouldn't testify about that until I said something. Listen, Wright. The courtroom is a garden of judgment. I'm putting myself on the line when I stand in there. And that's why I made the witness do the same. It's only natural. By the way, Edgeworth, you were really angry in court today. That's rare of you. That card. What in the world is it? You mean this? Listen, Wright. This is top secret information. You absolutely cannot leak this. A special investigations team has existed for a number of years, but a few know of it. I understand. Their task is to find the owner of this card. The man called Shelley the Killer. And just as his name states, he is a killer, an assassin, the best at it. An assassin? So who is this Shelley the Killer? The Killer is the name of the long-standing line of assassins. Long-standing? The name first appeared about 100 years ago, I hear. Shelley is the professional name of the third heir to the D-Killer name. So because his professional name is Shelley, he leaves cards with a shell on them? He has a habit of making sure to leave a card by the body of his victims. Why would he do something like that? We think it's a part of his duty to his clients. His duty. If he leaves a card, then his clients can be assured it was he who killed the victim. It also serves as insurance against any charges being pushed onto his clients. I see. The killer values the trust between his clients and himself above all else. It seems that this one honorable assassin with a moral conscience. I guess that even honorable assassins can exist. So do you think this assassin, you think he's the one who did the killing in this case? It would appear that way. The discovery of the card basically confirms it, wouldn't you agree? Shelley the Killer, huh? Where have I heard that name before? I guess I'll tell him about Maya's situation now. I've noticed something at the trial today. You're behaving in a very strange manner. Is something the matter? I guess I should just tell him. Whoa, we're opening up to Edgeworth right now. This is weird. We didn't see him for a year, and now we're just like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you like all of my problems right now, which is aka Maya is kidnapped. Maya, she's been kidnapped. Kidnapped? What does the kidnapper want? An acquittal. I see, I had no idea. I will prepare a rescue team as soon as possible and resolve this by tomorrow. Really? Did you hear trying to console me, Edgeworth. I don't need your pity.
Mr. Nick!
There's no way you can find her. We don't even have a single lead to go on. There's only one way to save her. I have to get an acquittal somehow. It's the only way. Right, listen, you need to know something. Juan Corrida was killed by Shelly the Killer. And the client who ordered the job is Matin Garde, your own client. Please stop. I can't listen to you. I can't believe that. I see. Well, if you want to continue investigation, you will need this.
What is it?
The hotel right now is restricted only to police personnel only, as we are looking for any clues that might lead us to Shelly the Killer. But if you take this with you to the hotel, I'm sure they will let you enter. In any case, I must attend to the preparations for Maya's rescue team. We'll meet again if anything should happen. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Mr. Nick? Do you think Mr. Ngarde hired an assassin?
No way! I mean, he doesn't have a psych lock.
Yeah, I guess not.
Maya, please, all I ask for you is to make it home safe and sound. Mysterious location.
I guess even kidnappers can be a little clumsy. Clumsy enough to drop a card like this for me. And even though he said he was an assassin, I bet he's just making up, like how Nick does with everything in court. Anyway, let's try to get out the card trick with this card I just found. Sounds like I got the door open. Okay, time to go take a look around. I've unlocked the door with this card. I should probably go and take a look around. Do I move?
A bear! A bear, you guys! You want to know where we also seen bears at?
So, the victim's room. What is this place?
I've got a feeling I'm not in a hotel right now. Are those videos over there?
Well, I'll worry about that later. For now, I should be looking for clues. That way I could show them to Sis and maybe get out of here. That's weird. What's a figurine doing on a sofa in a place like this? I think it's a bear. Oh, it's so cute. But it's got a lot of cuts and slits on it. I wonder if it's some kind of puzzle or something. There's a framed picture sitting here on this coffee table. It's a picture of a woman. She's kind of pretty. Hey, it looks like something's written here. Let's see. I think it says, "With love, Celeste." I bet this could be a clue. Oh, hey! It's a computer! I've never really used one before. I had no idea where the power switch on this is. Drat! There goes my plan to use this to somehow get out of here. What is this thing? An antenna? I guess. Is that? I can't really see that well.
Wait, is it? Wait, we don't have the court record, do we?
Oh, yeah! That's the suicide note!
That's the suicide note! Bro! Right? That has to be. I don't know. Or maybe that's like what she wrote. I don't know, something like that, but...
What is this thing? An antenna, I guess. And this is a VCR? There sure are a lot of electronic gauges here. Or gadgets here. I know how to read. But what is an antenna doing here? Wow, I've never seen a TV this big before. Now, where's the power button?
Well, I think... Remember how they think that there's a suicide note left behind? I wonder if it wasn't a suicide note, she signed that picture for someone. Or something. Because there is proof that she wrote something before she died. Killed herself.
Phooey, it's busted. I would so die a Happy Samurai fan if I ever got to see Nickel Samurai on a TV like this. I can't believe I just made a joke about dying, all things considered. I'm literally kidnapped right now. It's so dark in here that I can barely see, but... these kind of feel like videotapes, all of them. Just what kind of room is this? Is that everything in the room? I guess so. Ugh, locked, of course. It doesn't look like I could use the card to open this door. There's a little hole at the bottom of the door. If only I was a little skinnier, then maybe I'd be able to crawl through there.
Oh, this simply will not do. I cannot have you wandering around at will. Wait, how did I voice him? Oh, this simply will not. No, I don't remember how I voiced him. This will simply not do. I cannot have you wandering around at will.
Yeah!
It seems that your Mr. Wright is truly concerned about you.
He is?
But now I would suggest you remain cooperative. If you cannot, there are ways in which I can help you.
Ways? You mean...
Dead men tell no tales. Is that how the saying goes, correct?
Dead?
I'm almost certain I told you in our first meeting. I am an assassin.
No way, you're lying. I mean, an assassin?
People are not always who they appear to be.
Nick!
She did. She died. Damn. March 22nd, 7:04 p.m. Hottie Clinic reception.
Mr. Nick?
Oh, yes, Pearls. Got caught up in my thoughts about Maya's situation.
Mr. Edward has left you now.
I guess for now I have no choice but to believe in Mr. Engarde. But I think I should listen to his story one more time. Alright, let's get going too.
Okay.
No, wait. No, I didn't mean to go here.
Wow, everybody looks really busy with something or another.
They're probably strengthening the evidence for tomorrow's trial. Hey, hurry up with that, will you? Pass the victims list around. You've got to be kidding. There are over 100 people on here.
Mr. Nick? Is Mr. Engarde really that big and bad of a criminal?
Actually, Pearls, never mind. It sounds like they're working on a different case. Detention center. That's where I meant to click on. March 22nd, detention center visitors room.
I'm sorry, but visiting hours are over for today.
Aw.
Arg. I have too many questions I need to ask. I'm sorry, but I'm Phoenix Wright, a lawyer for one of the...
You're Mr. Wright, you say? Oh, yeah. There's a message here for you.
A message?
It's from Madame Garde. Ah, here you are.
What did he write? Is it something really important?
I don't know. Well, let's see what it has to say. To Mr. Lawyer Dude, I've got something really important to tell you. Why do I feel uneasy all of a sudden? Oh, Mr. Wright. So actually, I have a favor to ask of you. I have this cat named Shu. I didn't put out a lot of food when I left the house, so he's probably pretty hungry. You think you could drop by my house and feed Shu for me, dude? My house is just a little ways down from the hotel, alright? Bro, I need to do house errands now for this guy? I'm a lawyer, not a maid.
This is terrible. Let's hurry. We have to feed this cat. I'm sure poor Shu's stomach is growling by now.
Yeah, I guess. I'd rather let the cat die. I mean, for a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, not a maid. Please. You know, the cat would probably be fine on its own. Cats always end up being fine on their own. They figure out ways to survive. They are not something that would probably starve to death if they got left no food. So, a client's request is a request. I guess I should go check up on his cat. We're going to his cat. I can't believe this. I'm literally going to go to his cat. March 22nd, Gaywater Hotel. Whatever.
All right now, Mr. Nick. Let's go look for clues. We have to for Mystic Maya's sake. You shall not pass.
My sold bag.
Don't delve my name and turn into a gasp, you spiky-headed pettifogger. Because you have been made to look like a bad guy again, although I did get a piece of gum from Edgy Boy, just as he promised. Something much more valuable. I want Edgy Poo's heart. It's not your fault you've been awakened by a wild beast inside. Yarg!
I don't know.
Ah, my sold pack! Keep your hands off of me! His helmet is airtight. No air gets in and no air gets out.
Then why do you keep putting it on? I think this woman has brain damage from this.
Don't you think you can get me to move? Don't think you can get me to move with this silly questions. You're going to defeat me if you want to get by.
I'm not hearing this. Yes, I'm definitely not. I just want to go to the frickin' guy's house. March 22nd, in Garde's mansion? I guess that makes sense. He's rich. Sure is dark.
I'll turn on a light.
Whoa! This is what a star's house looks like. Must be nice to be rich. That looks incredibly familiar.
Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's find Shu, the kitty cat. Shu!
Bro, it's okay. Do you want the long story or the short story, Flip? I have a feeling you're gonna want the short story. Okay, that's what I thought. Her aunt decided that she wanted to try to frame Maya for a murder, and was jailed. So she has no aunt, And Maya's family, all of Maya's family, like her sister and her mom, well, her mom left and Maya's sister died. So that means the only relative she has right now is Maya. And since Maya is kidnapped, I'm her closest relative. Pretty much, even though I'm not even related to her. So I kind of have to have the 8-year-old with me. That's the short story. But she also helps me because she could transform, because she's a medium. She could also transform into the dead sister, like Maya's dead sister, which helps me because she was my, you know Mia? Remember? You watched, like, the first episode of the anime? That girl. I need her because, she's, like, my, like, chief. So, even though she's dead, she still does help me through this little girl because she could channel her. So, yeah. Yes. She could channel Mia to help Phoenix. So I guess this is Shu. That's such a cute kitty! Oh, what a lovely kitty! Hello, Shu! Teehee! The cat seems to like pearls.
Pardon me.
Hmm?
May I help you with something, mister?
Oh, we're lawyers. Actually, I'm Mr. Angarde's lawyer.
The Masters. Then you must be Mr. Wright.
Yes.
Ah, it's a pleasure to meet your wonderful self. I am the family butler, John Doe.
Bro. John Doe? John Doe? Interesting. It's almost like he doesn't have a name, and that's the only name they could think of. Nice to meet you. Meow. Let's talk to the assassin guy that we don't know is the assassin. Even though I feel like if we talk to this guy, maybe we'd be like, his voice sounds kind of familiar. You must know all sorts of things about Mr. Angarde, right?
Honestly, dear, I don't believe my master is capable of such a foul deed as murder.
And, anything else?
Not that especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the master or his affairs.
How typically butler-like, as it were. Mr. Doe, how long have you served at this residence?
Well, sir, I would have to say maybe about 1 year.
And, anything else?
Nope, not especially.
It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of himself. I would have thought Mr. Angarde the kind to have a maid over a butler. That's true. He probably knows nothing about Matt because I think he probably broke into his house or something. That's a very cute cat you've got here.
It is my duty to take care of him. The master rather fancies Shu.
And, anything else?
Nope, not especially. It is low...
Okay, whatever. Well, then I guess I don't need this piece of scrap paper anymore.
Well, I'm afraid I must take my leave of you now.
Oh, we should probably get going ourselves.
Ah, so young and yet already so accomplished, a master of law.
But there's also a lot to be proud of being a butler in charge of the house and all.
Thank you for the compliment, sir. People are not always who they appear to be. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Interesting. I know, the door looks exactly like
The one Maya was looking at, and I feel like she's in that room. There's a small door at the bottom of this bigger door, Nick.
I bet it's for Mr. Angarde's cat to use.
Oh, you mean Sue?
The door, it's locked tight. Well, I guess that's to keep nosy people like me from entering it. The temptation to send Pearl in there. Pearl! Go through the door! Tell me what's on the other side.
It's a big room, and there's this picture, and it says Celeste.
It says Celeste? I have a name Celeste in my court record. That's very interesting.
Yeah, want me to show you the picture, Nick?
I guess so. Can you bring the picture out of the door? Oh my god. That is Celeste. This guy is hiding something. But no, we're not going to send Pearl in there. There's another door over there.
You should go wandering off over there, Mr. Nick.
Yes, Pearls. Now I know how Maya feels when I tell her to stop playing around.
Hey, a giant bicycle is flying through the air!
That bicycle, Pearls, is one where you don't have to pedal. It moves on its own.
Really? Wow!
But sorry to disappoint you, it can't fly.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, there's a giant cooking hearth there.
That's actually a fireplace.
How are they different, Mr. Nick?
You know, I've never actually seen a hearth before, come to think of it.
You should come and visit Bay Manor then. I'll show you one when you do.
It's a very comfortable and spacious lounge set. I wonder if famous stars drop by and sit around to have a good time. In any case, I don't really belong here, do I? Arg. What is with me and feeling inferior today? Almost like everyone is always better than me all the time.
Huh?
You wouldn't understand, Pearl.
Ah, there are masks here.
Yeah, that one in the middle is the Steel Samurai. The ones next to that are the Pink Princess and the Evil Magistrate. They fought many battles against the backdrops in Neo-Old Tokyo.
Wow, you really know a lot about the Steel Samurai, Mr. Nick.
I only learned because of Maya and Edgeworth. I don't know whether to laugh or cry that I know more about the show than a kid. I really want to go into that room, but I guess that would ruin everything, wouldn't it? Ugh. Fine. Fine, I go back to the hotel to investigate. Fine. I'm not talking to her. Is that necessary? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Maybe I have to talk to her. Ugh. Actually, wait, no. I don't need to talk to her because I just need to present to her the paper. I don't know. I would have definitely sent my child into danger, potentially on the other side of the door, to get her to unlock the door. Maybe if I show her this letter I got from Edgeworth. Miss Oldbag, if you could look at... What? Want me to look at this worthless piece of...
Edgy poo.
Ugh. Is that her perfume? I'm not even gonna try to say whatever it is I smell. I hate the smell of perfume.
Let's see here. Would you please allow this unsophisticated young person to conduct his investigation? Yours truly, Miles Edgeworth.
Yours truly?
That man's good at flattery. Fine, but only because Edgypoo said so, you understand?
Thank goodness.
I just thought of something I have to do. Remember, no messing around. You do anything bad and I won't let you off the hook. Looks like she has a strong feelings for Mr. Edgeworth.
That may be, but you know nothing's going to come of it.
That's so mean, Mr. Nick. Feelings are meant to be told and shared.
Pearl, you have a lot of growing up to do. Ow. Every time we talk about love, I always end up with a handprint on my face somehow. Oh. So anyway, let's continue our investigation.
Okay.
Heck, what now?
One little thing before I forget. You can't go into Engarde's room today. Why? The police main investigation team is going to be in there all day, you hear?
I wonder if they're the team in charge of investigating the killer.
So don't go in there. Set one foot in there and you'll face the wrath of Wendy Oldbag.
Okay. I guess let's go here. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel. Looks like we're the only ones here.
And yet the hotel seems so busy somehow.
Yep, that's where we're gonna go, you guys. We need to disguise as a police officer or something. With a child. Mini police officer. She could disguise as the dog. She could disguise as a police dog, maybe. Probably because the police team is scouring the clues about the killer. Is there really anything to examine in this room? Probably not. Hey, city boy. Lada, you're still here. Reckon, of course. An investigative photographer eats or starves on her own ability to snap up the scoop, yeah? And this hotel just has that aura of mystery. You know, like something's always about to happen.
But, do you have a camera?
Reckon giving? Photographers gotta have cameras out the ear like a corn to be a real pro, you know? So I'm hanging around here. Speaking of cameras and feeding the mouth, do you have mine, you bread thief? Why can't you drop that thief thing already? Would you please take a look at this? Nope. Never mind. I want to ask you about the night of the murder. What, you really reckon? You really gonna shell out those bucks for the info I got? Nada. You were loitering in this hallway the night of the murder, were you not? Well, kinda, but... Brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. I didn't exactly hang around here the entire time, you know. Followed a few stars around. Got a few autographs, shook a few hands, had a soda pop with a few of them, too. Looks like she wasn't here the entire time that night.
The security lady also wasn't in the hallway the whole time either.
I guess this means there's no one who could tell us who came and went that night. So about the note that was inside your camera case. Oh, that ditty I wrote? Yeah. Can I believe what you've written? I mean, the stuff about Ngade shoving his manager lady into corridor? Yeah. Well, I reckon you best not believing in that. What? Look, I sort of wrote that on a whim, you know, writing whatever came to mind.
Whatever came to mind?
Yeah, like when you get down to it, just a lot of random bold dooders. What the fuck did I just say? Hey, what's with y'all? Staring at me like Grandpa used to? Hey, why you look like you suddenly got older too? Or am I just shrinking here? I'm my baby, if I 1,600 baby. What's with that red-coated prosecutor anyhow? That guy told me it was evidence and refused to give it back to me. Well, that's kind of how it is. Hey, you're that redcoat's friend, aren't you? So put a few good words for me and get me back my camera. You want me to do what? Listen, nag the guy real good for about 5 minutes and I guarantee he'll give it back. Why don't you just do your own dirty work? Well, I reckon it's time for me to get going. Tabloid photographer without a camera, just a tabloid, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Get yourself together out there, ya hear? I'm coming to see you on court tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you then. And you do there, little one. Keep up the good work, okay?
Okay.
Don't be picky about your food now.
Okay.
And make sure you do all your homework, you hear?
Okay.
And if you happen to find yourself a camera, make sure you bring it back. Would you please just leave already? Oh my god. I don't want to make those noises anymore.
Mr. Nick.
What is that otherworldly, ghastly moaning? Why did I read that? Oh god. I have an 8-year-old with me. Cover your eyes. I'm gonna cover your eyes, Pearl. This is really weird. I'm not.
I hate evil ghosts.
I don't think it's a ghost. Maybe it's a demon? Excuse me. Watch who you're calling a brat demon. What? I love dyslexia. I love what I read when I switch words in a sentence. Okay. Let me just reread that. Excuse me. Watch who you're calling a demon brat.
Ah!
Zoinks! It's an alien. When did I become oh my god, what's her name? Oh my god. From freaking... Yeah, Shaggy. When did I become Shaggy? Bro. Who you calling an alien? It's either Shaggy or Velma, I think. Yeah. It's one of them. It's one of them. Oh, it's just you, Miss Oldbag. What are you doing here? What is wrong with you youngins today? Came down here to pay my respects to my poor Juan, and you're disturbing me. What the fuck was she doing? Why was she paying her respects by moaning? Do I want to know? Actually, never mind. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. She's probably like fucking 80 years old. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is Shaggy. It is Shaggy. Yeah, it's definitely Shaggy. Yeah. Oh my god, and I need to talk to her. Ugh. Ugh. Please talk to me about the night of the murder just one more time. I talked about it plenty at the trial. I was fooled, tricked, deceived by that fraud of a photographer and her note. She was loitering around here with that imbecile look on her face.
With that imbecilic look on her face. Okay, got it. Now hold on a second there, you little pipsqueak. If you're gonna take notes, at least make me sound better than that. Oh, alright.
Now I've seen everything.
But you know, I was working that night too, doing my job, minding my own business. It's not like I had time to waste standing around here the whole night.
I was wondering if you could tell me a bit more about Mr. Corrida.
He was the most popular star you know, especially where it counts in my book.
But I heard he was lagging behind in the polls against Mr. Angarde.
Well, that's just the recent thing, bad luck, all that, you know. But he was going to become an even bigger star than he used to be. Just look at all this mountain of presents. It's a show of a mountain of feelings all his fans had for him.
Yeah, the mountain is pretty big and certainly nothing to shake a stick at.
Mr. Nick?
What is it, Bruce?
Your presents, they're all bears, right?
She's got a point. There isn't a single thing here that isn't a bear. All of Mr. Corrida's presents from his fans seem to be bears.
Oh, that's because he can't think of Juan without thinking about bears. Bears? Why bears? You don't know, when my dear Juan was training, he fought barehanded with a bear. He refused to give in and let the bear win, but after the fight, they became friends. Wow, what a heartwarming story. Look, it's just like in those young people's dramas. I can see those two tuckered out. Down by a river going, hey, you sure can't fight. You too, bub. You too.
Did all that really happen?
It's in his bibliography, bub.
What a load of crock. And why are you calling me bub?
So ever since then, fans have been giving him bears as presents.
Yeah, nice. Bears.
I'm Uncle Bear, and I say it's barely 8 o'clock. What in the infernal racket? It's one of the presents going off. Sounds like it's already 8 p.m., way past your bedtime.
Erk, that startled me. I thought I was going to die for a second.
8 p.m.? That's the time when the award ceremony ended that night, remember?
Time sure flies. Hard to believe it's been 2 days since the ceremony. Oh, God. Why did you have to give me a hydrate when I have no more water? Now I need to go get more water and the phone's ringing. Now you're gonna chat suffer. Thanks for the hydrate.
Phoenix, are you gonna pick up the phone? You've been letting it ring for the past, 2 minutes.
I guess I will. Hello? Hello? This is not a phone. Maya! How is Maya? You haven't heard her, have you? It seems you were not able to fulfill your end of the bargain, Mr. Attorney. I have heard the news. So it seemed my present did you no good. I burped again.
No, Mystic Maya, Mystic Maya.
One more day, please. All I ask is for one more day. I'll get a not guilty verdict for sure this time, please. I suppose if I must. I need that acquittal more than anything else after all. Please let Maya say something. I want to hear she's alright. Alright. His a little... What is with all this static all of a sudden? Hello? Hello? It seems it's bad. This connects. Damn it! Did the transceiver just suddenly break? Excuse me,
What happened?
I don't know. All of a sudden it became nothing but static.
Mystic Maya, Mystic Maya.
Why did the transceiver suddenly break like that? I should probably have an electronics expert look at it. The sooner the better. How am I going to find an electronics expert? I mean, I already examined everything. How am I gonna... Oh, maybe... What's his face? Gumshoe. Maybe Gumshoe knows about electronics. March 22nd, Ryan Cole offices. Hey, welcome back, pal. Thought I'd make you a little something for dinner. That's nice, thanks. A rich man's luxurious course meal out of a can, that is. I'm sorry you went through all the trouble to cook, but I don't have the time to eat. Oops, looks like you don't have a can opener, pal. You've got to be kidding. And here I thought he had already whipped something up. Oh, I know. There's one way I know how to be helpful. Ask me about anything you want, pal. Go ahead. Well, since he's here and offering, I wonder what I should try asking him about. The transceiver.
Oh, Mr. Nick, you should ask Mr. Scruffy Detective about that thing.
What thing?
Oh yeah, this thing just up and broke all of a sudden. It broke, pal? When I was talking to the kidnapper, it just suddenly broke into static. Look, it sounded like this. I don't hear any static, pal. Huh?
Maybe it fixed itself.
That's strange. I'm sure it was making a loud static noise. Maybe... Maybe what? Maybe it was electromagnetic interference, pal. Electromagnetic interference? So what is an electromagnetic interference? It's something that happens when a radio wave gets mixed up with another signal, pal. Oh, when you put it that way.
understand what you're talking about.
I know, I said it wrong at first, okay? It's electromagnetic. Like, for example, when a cell phone goes off next to a computer screen. The stuff on the screen gets kind of fuzzy and starts acting funny, right?
Huh? Computer.
It's like when you use the dryer next to the TV and the screen starts looking weird.
Oh, yes, the TV does do that. Oh, so that's what you're talking about.
She seems amazingly happy at being able to understand this. So the room where you were in when that interference was to the transceiver happened, there's gotta be something there that's standing out very strong radio waves, pal. Something like a listening device or something. Ah! Hey, speaking of that, where were you when it happened? You're in Mr. Oh, that's her.
You're in Mr. Korida's room, the scene of the murder.
What? That's it. I'm going to sneak into the precinct and get a bug sweeper. I'll meet you at the crime scene later, alright, pal? Ah, wait, gumshoe. Oh yeah, baby. It's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah!
We should be going too, Mr. Nick.
Alright, let's go. Everyone's hyped up to go and break in. Lovely. Let's go to... Honestly, he probably is. I don't blame him, though. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, Korida's hotel room. Hey, you're finally here, pal. Sorry to keep you waiting.
You have the, bug sweeper?
Well, you see, I got busted trying to sneak in, pal. Then suddenly I'm staring at the precinct doors. From the outside, I mean. So yeah, I couldn't get one of the police bug sweepers. What do you mean you couldn't get one? We need that item. Hey, calm down, pal. I didn't say I didn't get one. Just not the police's.
Wow, so this is a bug sweeper.
It looks a little broken. Hey, it was made when I was in elementary school, pal. Oh, by who? Me, of course. I'm seeing this sure brings back memories. Hey, don't look down on it, pal. Sure, it looks a little beat up. But I put my heart and soul into building this puppy here.
Your heart and soul?
It'll work, trust me, pal. It'll do the job, but you can't set the sensitivity. So it's gonna beep at anything that gives off electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves, I swear I can read.
But isn't it better that way?
Well, anyway, since I brought it all this way, I might as well give it a whirl, right, pal? I'm getting that sinking feeling again. No! Mizuki, he doesn't have his job. He is fired. That's why he's working for us right now. He got fired already. That's why he's bored and just hanging with us now. Okay, now I'll tell you how to use this baby. There's a listening device or some other sort of bug hidden in his room, pal.
So we're going to find it, right?
Right, now first let's turn on
the sweeper on. Next, move the sweeper around to give the room a real true looky-see here, pal. The sweeper will let you know how the strong the signal it's picking up, so keep an eye on it, okay? Once you find something that's giving off a lot of radio waves, press enter to lock onto it. There's a lot of things here that's gonna give off radio waves. Let's take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal? Alright, I'm gonna stand outside and keep an eye out. Give me a yell if you find a bug. Got it, pal?
Well, the phone is the most common place for a listening device, I'd say. But let's take the receiver apart first before we get ahead of ourselves here.
Wow! You know a lot about electronics, don't you, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, I know tons, especially when it comes to taking them apart. It's my specialty. I'll leave the fixing part up to Gumshoe.
So, is there a listening device in there?
No. And I really thought it had to be in the phone, too. A cell phone. Nope, no bugs in here.
A cell phone.
What? Don't tell me you don't know what a cell phone is.
I'm sorry, I've never seen one before.
Now that she mentions it, my cell phone couldn't get any reception while I was staying in Kurain Village. And Pearls has never lived outside of that village, so... Well, I guess I can't say it's impossible to live without one. What? And the lamp? Lamp, check. Listening device, nope.
There are a lot of lamps in this room, aren't there, Mr. Nick?
Yeah.
And they're all on. You shouldn't do that, Mr. Nick. Don't you know that's wasteful?
Yeah, I'll be more conscious from now on, sorry. It's just that again? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, the listening device isn't in the air conditioner.
Ah, yuck! This air filter is covered in dust and dirt.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's wash it.
I wonder if being neat freak makes even the tiniest dust bunny look colossal.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Ah, what a lovely bear.
Growl!
Wah!
It must be one of those fancy bear-shaped toy robots.
It's a robot. It's a real robot?
Yeah, it's a real one.
Mr. Nick,
Yes?
how many horsepowers is it? How many horsies?
Horsies? Well, look, it's a bear, so, Well, it certainly looks like an alarm clock.
What's wrong? Why do you look troubled?
I just can't imagine a listening device being inside this alarm clock. It just, sort of reminded me of something that happened a long time ago.
Oh,
Well, anyway, it looks like the listening device isn't in here. And here we have a dryer. Nothing unusual here, I think.
A dryer? Oh! If you use it next to a TV, it'll make the screen look all weird, right?
Yeah.
And when that happens, it's called electromagnetic interference, right?
Hey, good memory, Pearls.
I will never forget it for the rest of my life.
Smallest device in that notebook computer, huh?
What's a notebook computer?
Do you know what a notebook is?
Yes, it's a small book with paper so you can write on. So?
Well, that thing is like a notebook in a way. It's basically a small laptop.
Mr. Nick, what's a laptop? This is just a giant stuffed teddy bear, right? It's the biggest one I have ever seen.
Hey, so did you guys find it yet? The listening device, I mean.
No, not yet, but this spare eye is...
Let's see. A perfectly normal stuffed bear with some really strong radio waves. Sounds like you found the device to me, pal. Let's dig this fella's eye out and see what we've got.
No, you can't! Such a violent act!
Oh, rip.
No!
It's a miniature camera. It looks like there's more. There's a transmitter and a timer. Oh, what a mitter? A transmitter, pal.
Oh! Is this the more of that high-tech stuff?
So this tiny thing is a camera. Yep, it's a pinhole CCD camera, pal. It's a small, high-grade video camera mostly used in security systems. So it's a video camera. It runs on a battery, which comes with it in a set. But there's no videotape in this camera. This is the only camera bar here, pal. The tape recorder with the tape inside is somewhere else.
Somewhere else?
The footage is changed into radio waves and then it's sent to that recorder.
So, it's sort of like a TV broadcast, isn't it?
Hey, you know you're right. So what is a transmitter? The device that sends footage the camera took to a specific destination. It's like a video version of listening device, pal. It looks like it's attached to a small clock-like thing. Oh, that's a timer, pal. You can set it to turn the camera on and record at a certain time with it.
You can set it for a certain time?
Yep, let's see. It looks like it was set to start at 8 p.m. and go for 1 hour. 8 p.m.? That was the time the awards ceremony ended. There's no date set, so it's been recorded every night, I'd guess.
Mr. Detective, how long has this bear been here?
I'm pretty sure it's been here since the night of the murder.
Then maybe...
Maybe this camera got the murder on tape. But what? And if you think about the angle the bear is at, it's bound to have a clear shot of the whole crime, pal.
So there was a camera in this bear's eye.
And it was disguised as a present. And I'm sure it was here on the night of the murder, pal. It's pretty big, so it stands out pretty well in my mind. Who gave Mr. Corita this present?
I don't know, pal. But this means that someone out there got a video of what happened here that night.
Isn't there any way we can find out who that person is?
It's impossible, pal. Radio waves can be sent almost anywhere, so there's no real way to find out.
Oh.
Is there really no way to find out?
I got it.
What?
Hey, pal, let me borrow this mini camera for a bit.
But what are you going to do?
I'm gonna go around to the electronic shop to see if I can find out who bought this.
But that's impossible. I mean, it's already 9 p.m.
Leave it to me. Even if I have to search all night, I'll find her man, pal. Oh yeah, baby, it's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah!
He's gone.
Yeah.
But Mr. Scruffy Detective sure is a nice man. He's pushing himself so hard, all for Mystic Maya's sake.
It's a mystery how you always manage to do things in the most inefficient ways, right? Ack. You'll have to excuse me, I heard your conversation just now. The Edgeworth, what are you doing here? Our rescue team has been created and deployed. I can't say I'm optimistic, but we have to move forward one step at a time. I see. Thanks. Don't thank me yet. We still have to find her. So there was a spy camera hidden inside this stuffed animal, huh? You're one lucky man, right? Do you know the stuffed bear, little girl?
I had no idea.
Of course not. The maker of this bear is a very expensive luxury brand from overseas. It's completely handmade and only a small number of these are exported here. But what? The camera and the transmitter that Scatterbrain Detective took with him are dead ends. Things like those can be bought anywhere. However, this bear is different. By tracking how it got to this country, this bear can tell us who the buyer is.
Can you really do that? Mr. Nick, can he really?
Well, I guess so. It's 9 p.m. I think I can still make it on time. I'll be taking this for now. I'm sure you have other things you have to do. See you soon, Wright. Wait! What? Why are you doing this? I have no interest in explaining myself for someone who cannot comprehend. But besides that, Wright, until court reconvenes tomorrow, you should concern yourself with this question. Who was the person that murdered Juan Corrida? The real killer. Do you really think it was Adrian Andrews? To be honest, I don't know anymore. You still have a little time left. Find the truth, Wright. Everything begins with the truth. Juan Corrida's real killer. Miss Andrews' past. The kidnapper whose sole condition is an acquittal for Mr. Angarde. And this card. Shelly the Killer. Maya, the only way to save you now is to find all the answers to this case tonight. I don't understand what your real intentions are, Edgeworth. But as you said, all I can do now is find the truth. Well, of course the assassin has the footage. But I find it... Bro. I find it, like, just in my mind, I'm just imagining, like, Edgeworth, like, this bear that's, like, probably, like, the same size as him. Just him, like, okay, right, I'm leaving now. And then he just picks up the bear and just walks out of the freaking room to go find the person who bought the bear. Or drags it out of the room. Either way, I just... That's the funniest thing I've heard. For Edgeworth to do out of all people, too. So... Okay. I think I'm gonna end here. I know I'm not even, like... I'm probably, like, 2/3 out through the investigation. Maybe even, like, 1/2 through. But... I need to go to bed. I have work tomorrow. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow if you haven't already. You could check out my TikTok, I guess, and my Discord. I'll see everyone in the next stream, whenever that is. Oh, wait. I forgot. I need to announce this in my Discord. But the next stream probably won't be till next week. Like, I won't have any stream this Friday or this... Well, I might have a stream on Sunday. It depends on how I feel. But, you might expect the stream this Sunday. Don't guarantee that. It might not be till, like, next, like, Tuesday or Friday or something. So, yeah. I'll see everyone next stream. Bye! Have a good time zone.